A squared plus B squared equals C squared, a formula that is used all around the world. But what does it really mean? If you've just started to learn this in class, A squared plus B squared equals C squared is the formula for Pythagorean Theorem. Wait, what? Okay, let's start at the beginning. First of all, the name Pythagorean comes from the name Pythagoras. Pythagoras was a Greek philosopher and math whiz, who people thought was the very first person to find out how to find the hypotenuse and legs of a right angle triangle. Secondly, the word theorem means a statement that can be demonstrated to be true by accepting mathematical terms and/or arguments. So basically, a theorem is just proof that you're right. Now that you have the history, let's do some math. Earlier, I mentioned the two words, hypotenuse and legs. So what exactly do they mean? Basically, those words represent the names of the sides of the triangle. First of all, there are two legs, and those two legs make up the right angle. And then there's the hypotenuse that connects it all together. What Pythagorean theorem basically is, in simple forms, is finding the length of side legs without using a ruler. But how do you do it? Here's how. To do this, you need to remember the formula A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So imagine one side length is 5 centimeters and the other is 10. And the hypotenuse, you have no idea what it is. So you're going to use the squared part and you're going to use that to your advantage for the 5 and the 10. So 5 times 5 is 25 and 10 times 10 is 100. Then you're going to add them together. So that's equal 125. Now you need to square it because C squared. So 125 squared is equal to 11.18. If we simplify that, it'll just be about 11. So now that we know the answer is, the hypotenuse is about 11. Now this way is a little bit more trickier. Imagine you have a right angle triangle with the hypotenuse as 5 centimeters and a leg as 3 centimeters, but you have no idea what the other leg is. So I encourage you to pause this video now and figure out what the answer will be. To start, you're going to do the same thing you did with the other one. You're going to use A squared plus B squared. So 5 times 5 is 25 and 3 times 3 is 9. Now, instead of adding 25 and 9, you're going to minus. So 25 minus 9 is 16. Then, since you want to get your C squared, you're going to square 16. And 16 squared is 4. So your question is no longer a question mark, it is 4. Now if you look at all your numbers, you're going to notice they have all something in common. It's that they're not decimals. So this is what we call a Pythagorean triple. And what that basically means is that when you do your formula, it comes up with no decimals. It's pretty cool. Now that you got that nailed, let's do some practice. So on A, you have 20 centimeters and 11 centimeters as legs. And you're going to try to figure out what C is. So what is the length of C? For B, you have a leg that's 13 and the hypotenuse, which is 15. So your question is going to be, what is the length of A? So please, I encourage you to pause this video to figure out the answer. So for A, you're going to do the normal Pythagorean theorem. So you're going to do 11 times 11 is equal to 121 and 20 times 20, which is equal to 400. Then you're going to add them together, which is going to equal 521. Now, you have to follow that little arrow and it will get you to the square root of 521. And the square root of 521 is 22.82. Now, to simplify it, we're going to move it up, so we're going to make it about 23. So, the question mark is now going to change to 23. So, C is equal to 23 centimeters. Now, for B, we're going to do the other one. So, we're going to do 15 times 15, which is equal to 225. and 13 times 13, which is equal to 169. Now, this time, instead of adding, we're going to subtract. So, 225 subtracted by 169 is equal to 83. Now, follow the arrow of magicalness. You will get to the square root of 83. And the square root of 83 is equal to 9.11. And if we simplify it, we're going to move it down, so it's going to be about 9. So, question mark has turned to about 9 centimeters.